Welcome everyone, this is Kerjims channel. Now we are back to our new episodes of two semi-reality champions and comparison featured by Wild League, League of Legends versus the Mobile Legend Bang Gang. But before that, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so you will be notified to our next episode. Let's do this!
Brand is a ranged nuker, specializing in area of effect damage and creating spell combinations with himself. Brand's passive is Blaze. All of Brand's abilities light their targets ablaze for a few seconds. Blaze deals a percentage of the target's max health every second. When any of Brand's abilities hits a target already ablaze, the spell gains a bonus effect and renews the ablaze debuff. Seer is a skill shot move, dealing damage when it strikes an enemy. If the target is ablaze, Brand also stuns the target for a short time. After a short delay, Pillar of Flame deals damage to all enemy units in an area. Targets already ablaze take significant bonus damage. Conflagration immediately damages target enemy. If the target is already ablaze, Conflagration also hits all nearby enemies. Brand's ultimate is Pyroclasm. Brand shoots out a fireball that bounces from target to target. The missile initially moves slowly, allowing enemies to spread out. However, if the fireball targets an enemy ablaze, the missile speeds up, going faster with every subsequent target ablaze. Brand can easily clear out ranged minions, lead with Pillar of Flame, wait for it to hit, and hit any of the targets with Conflagration. For maximum AoE damage, hit a target with Seer. Use Conflagration to light nearby enemies ablaze, and then use Pillar of Flame for the bonus damage from Blaze. If your target won't be able to dodge you essentially want to lead with Conflagration. Though I cast Pillar of Flame first, its delay allows me to light Cassiopeia ablaze before it hits, following up with Seer for the stun. With a little help, we kill her in about 3 seconds. Brand has excellent area of effect damage. Once Galio pulls everyone together, I open with Pillar of Flame, followed by Conflagration and Seer. While this combo doesn't maximize my damage output, you almost always want to stun from Seer when fighting champions. The best possible use of Pyroclasm is when two enemies are standing together. Immediately, Pantheon loses most of his health, getting killed by Lee Sin. Pillar of Flame has the longest cooldown out of Brand's regular abilities. Because of this, you may want to hold on to it when killing single champions near a team fight. I take down Teemo with just Seer and Conflagration. In the next fight, I hold on to Pillar of Flame and Pyroclasm until our enemies group up. Immediately, I follow up on the survivors, taking down Cassiopeia with Seer. If you don't have a lot of teammates nearby, you have to be the biggest source of damage. We catch Blitzcrank, and I hit him with the default anti-champion combo. Conflagration, followed by an immediate Pillar of Flame and Seer. Our team gets ganked while attempting to kill Baron. Seeing Pantheon in front, I toss out Conflagration and Seer to stun him. Immediately, Blitzcrank comes, so I break them down with Pyroclasm. Cassiopeia comes in, and immediately I turn around to prevent the stun, following up with Conflagration for the kill. I turn to kill Jarvan, once more using Conflagration and Pillar of Flame and Seer. Conveniently, with max cooldown reduction, I can chain Seer together for a stun, without other spells to help. I have Riley's Crystal Scepter to add slows to my abilities. Zhonya's Hourglass is a burst mage's best friend. I lead with Pillar of Flame to maximize my area of effect damage, tossing out Conflagration and Pyroclasm immediately afterwards. While waiting for my cooldowns, I activate Zhonya's, keeping me alive while we kill 3 of them. I follow up, chasing down Teemo. Leading with Conflagration, he does a good job of dodging Seer. However, the slow from Riley's allows me to easily kill him with Pillar of Flame. Afterwards, I wait for Conflagration's cooldown. I turn back on the Cassiopeia, once more casting the anti-champion combo of Conflagration, followed by Seer and Pillar of Flame. Once again, I'm assaulted by Jarvan and Pantheon. I lead Jarvan with my abilities, dropping him to half before the fight even starts. Immediately after casting Pyroclasm, I activate Zhonya's again. For Pantheon, I cast out an immediate Conflagration plus Seer stun, casting Pillar of Flame as I lead. Because Brand is combo-based, sometimes you want to wait for cooldowns before even casting one spell. I'm getting chased by Cassiopeia, but have to wait for Conflagration to cast me again. Once I have it, I kill her from almost full health with my standard spell combo. In the background, I'll show off Brand's laning game while detailing the build I use on him. I take Magic Penetration marks, Meta Regeneration per level seals, 3 Magic Penetration glyphs, 6 ability power per level glyphs, and flat ability power quintessences. This setup allows me to reach exactly 30 Magic Penetration with just Sorcerer's Shoes, which will bring most champions to exactly 0 magic resist. I use 9-0-21 Mastery, grabbing Ignite and Ghost. I max Conflagration early, followed by Pillar of Flame, with a point in Seer at level 3. Conflagration is Brand's most reliable damage spell, and then I just like the area of effect power from Pillar of Flame. For items, I start out with a Sapphire Crystal and 2 health potions. I rush Catalyst the Protector and Sorcerer's Shoes as quickly as possible. Rabadon's Death Catch my next stop, and then I usually grab Void Staff, because my passive counts for a lot of my damage, but only scales with Magic Penetration, not ability power. Afterwards, I round out my items with Riley's Crystal Scepter to make my passive slow, Zonia's Hourglass to bait enemies into a cluster for my ultimate, and Banshee's Veil to aid my survivability.
You gotta remember when you're playing Brand, he's not the tankiest champ, so when you have to also be good yourself at dodging skill shots, okay? So the best way to do it is try and maybe catch them just on the edge if you can, and poke them out over time. Now things get interesting when he basically shoots a fireball out in the line, so another skill shot, and if you hit someone who's ablaze, it stuns them. Okay, so if we hit her, we missed the Q. If you light somebody on fire and you hit them with the Q, you're gonna stun them basically. So that's really good for stopping ganks or locking someone down later on. We just missed her again. Locking someone later on for a team fight or a skirmish, right? A priority target or even a frontliner if you wanted to, okay? So when we pick up level 3 here, we're going to talk about what you can do in terms of a little bit of a mini combo against a champion, or also a way to clear back basic abilities that isn't a skill shot. So what you want to try and do is, if there's no minions in between you and the enemy champ, you have a good chance, but it's pretty powerful. Brand deals a lot of damage, so hit them a few more times, clear them out, push this wave in, right? You always want to push before you recall, and then we're going to go back and buy and build a little bit more AP here and get pretty dangerous. In terms of runes, we're just running some basic mage runes here. I've got the Arcane Comet with the Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and Gathering Storm. That's just really good on any type of a mage in the mid lane. And then in terms of our secondary runes, we're running the Precision Tree for Presence of Mind, so we get a bunch more mana. Brand is very mana hungry, especially if you're spamming the spells. They're all pretty expensive. And then the Coup de Grace, just to make sure that if we get someone low with our fire damage, it kind of helps finish them off. Okay, we didn't want to buy that. Alright, so in terms of spells here, or items in the mid lane, I mean, you could go Bursty with Luden's Echo, you could go a little bit tankier with Leandri's Torment. Generally, I like to go a little bit tankier just to start off with, so that I have a little bit of survivability. Also, because Brand doesn't really have any escapes, if you do get ganked, having a little bit more survivability while you try and run back to your tower with your tail between your legs is helpful in some situations. So I build that item first and then maybe get a bit more bursty with other items, but we're going to run to lane here and just following our basic laning with Brand. Different ways you can lane with Brand in terms of combos and trading in the last hitting. Now let's talk about his R. So I'm just going to walk back here for a second while we take a look at his ability. So Pyroclasm, basically Brand unleashes a devastating torrent of fire, dealing a bunch of AP magic damage each time it bounces up to 5 bounces. So bounces prioritize stacking Blaze to max on champions. So what this means basically is you can cast it on an enemy, I believe it's even an enemy unit, and it's gonna bounce, but prioritizing champions up to 5 times. So this is an amazing ability for team fights. Okay, it deals huge damage. You can really like have a massive turning of the tide as a champion in fights in the AoE with this ability. Okay, so we're gonna push this wave out. Alright, and we're just gonna queue that to get that. And Brand is very powerful if you can push the wave, okay? Because then you can really harass them under turn. So I'd recommend, if you want to be really aggressive on Brand and have a chance to really carry games, you're going to get ganked a lot, but what you can try and do, look to harass the champ under tower, okay? And what I mean by harass is you can just catch them off of farming or just damage them. right? So there I'm even throwing Qs just to keep her off and damage her. She's gonna have to recall now and miss a bunch of this farm, and I can get more gold off the plays. So, really, really powerful way to play Brand. Brand is a very poke-heavy champion still at the end of the day. Even though the poke can be AoE, you still want to make sure you're poking, okay? So we're gonna get some plates here. We don't really have enough gold to back, and we're still full health and mana, so if you're in this position in your games, I'd recommend hanging out for a little bit longer and either fast pushing in another wave, or looking to kill the enemy champion. Okay, so here again, you wanna hit as many minions as you can with that. We're gonna walk away, and then we're gonna get a combo up on here. 3 abilities on a champion, you're gonna see this ring show up around them. That's basically even more burn damage coming from your passive, so that would be ideal if you can kind of pin together 3 spells on someone. So she's gone. There's a little bit more waves to push in here. I don't really have as much gold as I could to pick up a full item, which is what I want to try and do. So I'm going to push this here. And again, I'm pretty confident that even when she comes back to lane with my current health and I will be able to fight her again. So no reason to back quite yet. Pop a potion just to get a little bit more health going, but I think after I fast push this wave in chunks, and now we can harass her with the turret again, just like we were talking. She presents itself, you'll do huge amounts of damage with Brand. He's actually very, very powerful in that way, and in lower elo games where a lot of teams like to group up, he's actually really easy to play into team fights. So you can basically just stand back. Some champions, you might die before you even get your damage out, and it's hard to like get the damage charts high in your games and have an impact. Brand, it's very easy to have an impact on the game no matter what. Even if you're behind, if you're ahead, if you're into a hard matchup, it doesn't matter because essentially the games will deteriorate to probably people just grouping mid and trying to push this 5 or whatever it is. I wouldn't recommend roaming too much with this champion, even if you are getting your waves pushed in. He's just very tough in terms of if you're playing against junglers who can assassinate you or get the jump on you or have some hard CC on you. He's not great at that. So I would just be careful of not pushing too aggressively and then looking to roam. That's not your play, right? Push if you want, get some wards down, but really you want to try and get as big as possible, get as much gold as you can from these plates, or going back and buying minion gold or champ gold for kills, and then have an impact later on. Like, don't set yourself back by roaming, right? Here we go, right? We could have ulted there. We'll do one ult. Did the fire damage get her? It did, right? So, that's all. You just stay in the mid lane, stay safe, put your wards down, farm champions, farm minions, get that plate gold, and if you have enough gold and items and damage, and the game deteriorates to just everybody grouping mid, you're gonna have a huge factor. I'm sure everybody's probably already played against a Brand on the enemy team where it's like, what the heck, this guy's just killing everybody at once. Okay, so we're gonna go back, fire item. We'll do a couple more combos just so everybody understands the basic pattern here that you should be looking for, and I think we might wrap this one up. It's not that hard to play Brand once you get the hang of it. It's pretty easy. You'd be looking to build out these 3 essential items in whatever order you feel. I